You tweak some settings, and boom.
Hey guys, welcome back to NAS 716 Studio. My name is Anas Mengla. I'll be hosting today's special show that we have about social media. Thank you for joining us. By the way, if you're watching this show, you can send your comments to us, your question as well. We'll be able to post them live on it. And as we start the show, I do have a co-host, sort of co-host, my son Fahad, 10 years old son. He's with me. He's not going to do a lot, but he just wanted to come and join me. Thank you so much for being here. But why don't you go ahead and tell our people what's going to be on the show. Qasim, can you do the full screen on YOLO box? And he's going to read the schedule to you guys. Go ahead, Fahad.
On Mondays, it's Clearing the Mist with Ken Hamilton. On Tuesdays, it's Vibing with Vicky. On Wednesdays, it's Faith Matters with Dr. Nasser Khan. And on Thursdays, it's yours truly, Mind Your Business with Naz.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Again, what we try to do on these shows is we try to talk about social issues, things that impact all of us here in community. The social media, if you have a child that goes to school, that probably will be impacted by this. If you have a phone, this concerns you as well. If they're going to school, definitely it's gonna you might be running into a lot more issues now with the new impact of social media after COVID-19, the new world that we live in. So we'll talk about what social media means and what it means for us to be able to how we can prevent our next generation or ourselves from getting way too deep into it and seeing more, preventing ourselves from the evils of social media. So let's go with that. I'm gonna pull up all the information on my phone here. Let's talk about what social media, what it means to have a social media. So we all know if you have a smartphone, what that means to have a social media. Any application that allows you to be able to talk to somebody virtually, if you're in contact with anyone else, that is what social media means. That could be Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, WhatsApp. There's so many different apps that our kids are using that we can talk. But I apologize, people are calling me while I'm trying to do the show. So those shows are those apps allow people to be able to talk to you either live, through the comments, through other means, or express their feelings. Anyway, that is what social media means. There are some benefits as well, and there's a few things that we should watch out for. So let's talk about. Well, I'm going to look at one of the screens. Qasim, is called what it means to have a social media, for example. So next one. All right. So if you create a profile online, if you are posting any comments, if you're chatting online, if you're tweeting, if you're expressing your anger or your opinion by liking or disliking something, that is social media as well. If you're loading pictures or videos online, and if you're playing games with other people online as well. If you're modifying somebody else's content. My son, who's right here with me, he does that. He just started a YouTube channel, and he modify other people's content, and he puts information about NBA online, right? So we have that as well. So that will be it too. So what about you? You can actually start commenting as well. You can share your information as well. All of us have benefited or interacted with social media one way or the other, and you can definitely write your information. We'll be able to share that right on the screen as well. Few of the benefits of the social media that I wanted to talk about, Qasim. Just few of the benefits. My son Qasim, he's 14 years old. He's behind the camera producing this show. Thank you so much for being here. So the social media, if the benefits of social media is that you can use hashtags for example, so other people who have a similar idea as you can use those hashtags and be able to express or tell you what's going on as well. The last time, one of the biggest uses that I saw was during the Buffalo shooting. The hashtag Buffalo shooting was used all over the country, all over the world, and people wanted to send their love and their care to people within Buffalo area. That impacted the local people here as well. If you're on any of the social media, you can use hashtag, for example, Niagara Falls, and you'll see a whole bunch of information about people who are visiting Niagara Falls who are using the information as well. It allows us to have some life on socially or virtually on cyber, on internet. Some sort of existence. In his is our globalization as well. We get to talk to people from all over the world. Normally it won't be easy for us to be able to get in touch with people from different cultures, but here it allows us to be able to interact with people from different part of the world who may have similar interests as you. And it provides entertainment and education as well. Few of the benefits, for example, about the education is Khan Academy, for example. If you're struggling, if your child is struggling with any of the subject, you can log in to create an account in Khan Academy. Google is trying to do the same thing as well. There's so many different channels on YouTube. I've watched many videos on YouTube and educated myself with things. Most of the things that I have in the studio were created because I watched other people do it online, and I was able to talk to them or just watch the video and learn that. And I'm sure that you do that too. I fix cars, I fix my fridge, washing machine, stuff like that by watching those videos. It does provide a great creative outlet to people as well. You can get in touch with people who may have the similar interest as you, and for mental health is very beneficial as well. We definitely know all this information. So let's skip to the next page. We're going to talk about because people mix media with social media a lot. Obviously, this is very true that if there was no social media, Donald Trump may not have been elected as a president, because he was able to create something new that never existed before. He was able to talk to almost all of us throughout the country, whether you agree with him or not. But we're not talking about the politics. We're talking about him able to talk to most of the population directly without using the media. Media was, for the most of the part, against him, and he produced his own content online through Twitter and through Facebook, and then his followers did the same thing too, and that got him elected as president. So the social media allows you to talk to other people directly, where whether you agree or not, media, the information will come to you, but it is controlled either by the government or the other agencies, organizations that are running too. So if you're watching CNN, the information that you get on CNN is going to be totally different than the information that you'll get on on MSNBC or on Fox, and vice versa. So that's the difference between social media and media. And then we'll talk about one of the biggest danger is the cyberbullying. The report published in 2016 shows that 1 in every 5 young adults are bullied online. I've said this before too, that when we were young, when I was growing up, our bullied, we saw them in school, and we left them at school, and then we came home, and that's it. We dealt with them at school, or later on at your probably at your work or any other social gathering, wherever you met them. But now, the people who may not like you stay with you throughout the day. The teen suicide rate is higher than ever before now. This report is published in 2016 that you see online, but the numbers are even worse than before now, especially after COVID-19, when people are using the Zoom is not even part of this. People are using social media even a lot more than that. So more people are feel free to be able to express themselves, their hatred or their retention against anyone. So you got to watch out for that. And we'll talk about what we can do to prevent that. We'll probably have the phone number for people. I think we had that number on the screen yesterday as well, for suicide and crisis. I believe it's 877-977-877. Sorry, 933. You can call that number. You can get in touch with them. So we'll have that on screen soon as well. The next problem that we will have on social media is you will definitely talk to a lot of strangers, and the part of the problem is that a lot of people can pretend to be who they're not. A grown-up adult, a male, can pretend to be a teenager girl, and he's going to be able to talk to your girls or your boys and be friends with them. And it's very difficult to detect. There are a lot of government agencies, FBI's and other agencies are trying to track these people down. They're all around us, because you keep hearing about these raids all the time. There are people out there who basic job is to talk to your young kids. The one thing that we can do is ask our kids not to talk to strangers. Don't talk to anyone that you don't know. If they're asking you to get in touch with you, monitor them, have them report to you, and then go from there. Even if the other person is trying to pretend to be a child their age, if they don't know them from school, or they don't know them from their social circle within the families, then they shouldn't be talking to anyone. Simple as that. Social media can be very addictive as well. That's the next slide. People are spending a lot more time on social media than ever before. This is causing a lot more anxiety, stress, depression as well. The younger generation, especially, they're feeling that the people that they talk online are their friends. There's a difference between talking to somebody in person and talking to somebody online. The difference is that you can pretend to be nice. You can pretend to have a better life. You can always use filters with your text, with your pictures, to hide behind a mask. But here, in real life, you get to talk to people and you hear their real problems and everything. So that's not happening anymore. So the social gathering that we used to have, the birthday parties or graduations, people don't want to go to them. The weddings are not happening as much as well. People are not going to church as much. So the places where we used to meet people in person don't exist anymore. If you remember from 10, 15 years ago, the mall used to be a place where people used to go and hang out at the food court. Just go through a store, just window shopping. That's not happening anymore. Most of the malls are empty because Amazon has taken over too. But there's no need to go to mall anymore, because we can just find all the information online now. The people you want to talk to, you can just send them text message. It is causing a lot of problem. Anyways, parents, what can they do is they can limit screen time. Just make sure that you set very clear expectation on social media usage. You can monitor that. I'm going to talk about different applications that people can use to monitor that as well. Again, I just want to remind you before I move on to the next slide, that you can send your question and concern. We'll be able to answer those your questions right here. We will be able to publish them on screen as well. And if I can't get to your question, and if you're watching this recorded show later on, you can still send your question, concern, comments, and we'll be able to answer that. We'll be able to get in touch with you. And thank you again for watching this show as well. We talk about the next slide is about advertisement. People are using social media to. Did I skip that for Qasim? You're right about that. Lack of focus. The lack of focus, we'll get to the advertisement later on, but lack of focus is another thing that's happening a lot more as well. Children who are on social media more are not focused in school, their studies, their tasks, their chores as much. It does take your attention away from your studies, from sports and other commitment that they may have. Less kids are joining social gatherings like sports and everything. As parents, it's our job to make sure that our kids are still involved with all the other activities that are not in front of the computer or TV. One thing that we can recommend is make sure that kids does not take their devices to their rooms. They should stay at a place which is very accessible to you, that you can walk by and see them what they do on social media. And you can still log into their social media as well, and you should be able to see the history and see what they do as well. And the next we're going to talk about, this is very important as well, that nothing is ever deleted online. Even when it's telling, when the internet is telling you this, delete it. If you posted something on Facebook or Twitter, somewhere it still exists. Even if Facebook tells you it's deleted, I have a database background as well. Whenever we created a database, when you get some information, when you have something, it's always there, because the companies who own the data, they're counting on you to leave some sort of breadcrumbs, some sort of information back for them. Otherwise, they'll get out of business of having the social media. They're counting on you to interact with other people, to like something, to watch a video, to look at the picture, because that's how they'll make money. So whatever you post there, think twice, 3 times, 4 times before you post anything. But for people who want to go viral, or the videos that will go viral are going to be the videos that people haven't put a lot of thoughts into posting them, right? But we just get emotional. People will turn on the camera if they're pulled over by a cop, because they don't want to miss anything, and that we get into that. When you see 2 people fighting at Walmart parking, that's what happened to parking lot. We'll get our cameras out and want to make sure that it's captured. That's how we are, right? But when you post it online, it's always going to be there. We've seen it in the world of politics. People will bring up something that was posted like 5, 6, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, online somewhere, some thesis, some essay that people wrote against a point that they're trying to make now, right? So just remember your future as well. Let your kids know as well. Whatever they express online right now, right? If you let the social media know right now that you don't like bananas, and then in 15 years you're going to have a job where you're selling bananas, somebody will bring that up and say, well, you're against this. How are you gonna sell me this product now? Okay, so the next point is the advertisement that I was going to talk about this before. It could be good or bad. It's good for businesses. And then we'll actually dig deeper into this as well. Good for businesses and people who want to advertise for the social events. It's really good for them as well, because they can get to you. They'll get you the information. The part of the problem with the advertising online is that the information that is showing up on your social media, number one, it doesn't look like an advertisement. It just looks like part of the other post, other tweets that you're looking at. They'll hide them. They'll mask them properly, that you don't, it doesn't look like there's an advertisement. And the reason that's coming to your Facebook or your Twitter feed or TikTok account is because they have been studying you. If you have a social media, the system is built to analyze you. Everything that you look at, everything that you talk about, right? Why do you think we can't take the battery out of our smartphones anymore? Even when your phone is off, technically it can still gather information on you. Even when I'm not actively talking to my phone is right in front of me, it's listening to everything that I'm saying. And based on that information is shared. I have an Android phone. If you have Apple phone, Apple is listening to your conversation, and it sells that information, whatever it hears, and it makes some sort of decision, and it sells that information online. And that information is there are so many different companies who are willing to buy that information. So we'll talk about that. And it doesn't end with that. Geotagging is another thing too. Any picture that you take, your picture, it has a geotag. It remembers where you took the picture, time stamp on it too. It remembers the date and time where that picture was taken, and the place as well. It will always keep that information with that. And once you share that information online, wherever that picture is going to go, it's going to have your phone's information, your information with it. Metadata is called. It's going to hide that information, all that information in the background. And the other people will be able to find that too. People love to do geotagging these days. Anyways, we check into places online now. If people say, I'm at this restaurant, I'm visiting NAS 716 business today, and that gives, if somebody is out there to cause any damage to you, they know exactly where you are. Or your child. Just think about that. They know if your child is playing at a playground by themselves too. We can get deeper, but we'll maybe do that next time. Next slide, please. There's a reason that social media is free, and this is done on purpose. Data is the most expensive commodity in the world. At one point, it used to be oil. But now there's a cold war over how much information different companies can gather on you. That war is between Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Google, and any other social media you're using as well. TikTok is another one. It's a Chinese company. And we tend not to trust them because they're Chinese, but how is Google any better than them? How is Apple any better than TikTok? Fahad, am I forgetting any of the social media that you guys use a lot besides everything that I talk about?
YouTube.
YouTube, okay, what else?
Twitter.
You can talk louder.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Thank you so much. So all of them. Tinder too. There you go. Thank you much. I don't know why we need to talk about this. Why do you need to know about Tinder? But all of these apps are collecting that information. Every time you click on a picture, you can leave it on. Every time you click on something, every time you talk to somebody, every time you even pause on a post, you don't scroll down. If you stop, it's collecting information based on that. So one of the examples that I want to give you is Cambridge Analytica. It's a company out of UK. It was hired in 2016 by some of the Republicans. Their job was to do some, they call it psychograph, collect information on Americans from throughout the country. And what they did was they sent out to request for people to play games on social media, on Facebook. I'm sure that you have done that too, or you've seen those requests too. SimCity was one of the games. There were some other games too that people were playing. Challenge, how you'll look like when you're in like 20 years later, or what kind of job you'll have when you grow up or something like that. So they were sending all the information, and based on the the thing that you were liking. So by the way, so when you click on those games, the Facebook allowed the sender of that information to have access to most of your behavioral links, and they were able to pinpoint close to 1,000 data points on every single profile. That could be liking something, disliking something, pausing on pictures, all that. The people that you interact with, the people you blocked. So based on that, they were able to. They're really good. Sometimes the analyzation that they did on you was better than what you know about yourself. So based on these 1,000 points, they were able to pinpoint the type of advertisement they wanted to focus on you, on every single one of those people. And it wasn't just the people that they sent information to. Anyone who was friend with those people who were playing the games, they got their information as well. I'm not sure how Facebook did that, but they had many people doing this. We're almost out of time, but I want to share the rest of the story with you. So basically, the first test was with Ted Cruz and Brexit referendum. They won the election from them because they were able to send out some fake news and fake accounts information that the companies who were playing with this, they wanted to test it out. So they were able to advertise and send the information directly to your post, to your page stories, and based on this they won the election. And then famously the Black Lives Matters and All Life Matter was another thing. What they did was they created both accounts at the same time in some of the cities, and they asked the people from both groups to gather at the same place at the same time, and there was some chaos. There was some shootings and yelling, and people got injured and all that too. So they were successful in their test, and later on they played it on a bigger level, but I'm going to skip that story maybe for next time. Can we go to the next one, Qasim? The end of day for us. So I'm just going to say this to you. Use social media with care, with caution. It's just like playing with fire. I am on social media. This is how you're watching this show on Facebook or YouTube. Just be careful. Whatever you do online, know everything that I talk about. Be careful. I mentioned in the beginning that there are some apps that you can use. Google has Family Links. Apple has, what is it called, Qasim? Apple has something too, and I'll look it up for you. It's on. You can control the accounts, or have some sort of control over what other your children are using. Limit the time that they use on social media. TikTok and Snapchat has parenting controls as well. Thank you so much. What? Okay, I'm not. Okay, he said he forgot Snapchat. Don't tell me right now. I'm trying to end the show. Okay, so
He said, can I get Snapchat?
No, not a good time to ask. So be careful. Be careful, but know that there are dangers out there, and they're not going to go away. We might have some other apps in the future as well. Be careful, and kids, you be careful too. Thank you so much for watching the show. But before I end the show, let's look at the schedule one more time, and I'm going to allow my wonderful son Fahad. This time is going to be loud and clear.
On Monday, it's Clearing the Myths with Ken Hamilton. On Tuesdays, it's Vibing with Vicky. On Wednesdays, it's Faith Matters with Dr. Nasser Khan. On Thursdays, it's Mind Your Business with Naz.
And this show is live 6 p.m. on Monday to Friday, as you can see it on screen. You can be part of this show as well. You can host the show if you want to. You can send us information, and you can be one of the guests if you have something special you want to talk about. And with that, guys, stay safe. Thank you so much again for watching this show, and have a wonderful day.